On a topic that's not developed quite as well as our Missouri River flooding challenges, about this time last year, almost exactly, I think it was around the 12th to the 14th of March, we had flooding start earlier than it normally does in the very northern corner of the state that affected Kansas and Nebraska as well. A lot of what happened then hasn't been remediated because of high water during most of the summer. One of the projects, we're talking to the Corps on this, but one of the projects that I continue to be concerned about is the Corps' focus on some of the fish issues, the pallid sturgeon issue, frankly, before the Corps knows what would work. Already a number of breeding chutes were put in. It turned out they didn't work. Now the proposal is, well, maybe we do 12 intercepting rearing complexes along the course of the river. I think there's no particular reason to believe they would work either. And what I'm wondering is, what can we do to better monitor whether something would work before we go full-fledged into a dozen locations? And believe me, every minute that's spent on that is a minute that's not spent on getting ready for what would be this year's flooding challenges.
So one of the things we're doing with the Endangered Species Act implementation is to better inform our folks of kind of what our regulations require in terms of reasonable certainty and likelihood, so that we can be working with proposing agencies like the Corps in a way that offers them more flexibility. So I'd be happy to have the service make sure that they are communicating with the Corps to ensure that they are thinking about these items and with our entire toolkit, because we really have made some changes to improve that process.
Well, one of the things I'd like you to for sure communicate is to be sure that you're also talking about the impact on flood control and navigation issues as part of the discussion as to how to move forward here. Those are still priority issues in the whole management plan, but they never seem to get the priority considerations over the last few years. Another thing I'd like you to look at is what kind of metrics would Fish and Wildlife use to determine, one, if this is really a workable plan, and two, if any part of the plan is put into place, how do you measure the success? So far, again, let me repeat, it's taken a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of federal money to put things in place that then we found out didn't work. If you know something's going to hurt people and property, and you don't know that it's going to produce the result, I think there should be more of an effort to be sure that you've really tested this in a way that the result would be at least positive on the wildlife side, if you know it's going to be negative on the people and property side. And of course, all the people involved would believe that this should not be a choice that's being made. Also, the fish hatcheries, the Neosho, I think there's another one on the Missouri River, seem to do a fine job of repopulating pallid sturgeon. But I'd like a commitment from you that we're going to look carefully at how we measure the metrics of how we measure whether this might work or not, and then if you try it somewhere, whether it really does work or not.
So I will give you that commitment. I will also tell you that the President has expressed that view to me multiple times in a broader setting. And three, we are very interested in utilizing human interactions with proposals of hatcheries and other things.
Good.
In a number of places. So I'll get back to you on it, sir.
All right. Thank you, Secretary.